Hello, Big Daddy Fun here. Thank you for joining me for today's video. This is the Unbreakable Bedrock. This is Season 2, and this is Episode 33. Since the last episode, I added some deep slate brick walls to the Sweetberry farm, and I added some spruce wood up at the top, and I put some deep slate brick walls with some crimson fences going up and some lanterns on the corners. And I had to add a little bit out here to get the deep slate brick in and the spruce wood. So I just took this wall out a little bit here and a little bit over here, just a couple slight modifications, and everything's working well. I am going to tell you that so far this farm has been phenomenal. I added a second chest, and right now I have almost 2 full double chests of sweet berries. I have been collecting the sweet berries and taking them up here to the villager trading hall and trading with the butchers that I have. And I only have 4 butchers, but it just, I can't keep up with all the sweet berries that are there. So I'm going to tell you, if you build this farm, you might want to consider not building it quite as big as I did. I probably overdid it, but I got plenty of sweet berries, and my emerald supply is starting to grow a little bit more now. In the last several episodes, I built the potato and carrot farm. We built the sugarcane bamboo farm, the melon pumpkin farm. We built the sweet berry farm over here. I built the drowned farm up there. Out here I have the mob farm, and so we have a number of farms that are going, and we did a lot with the villagers up here in the trading hall. And now there is another farm that I want to do, and actually probably in the next like 2 to 3 episodes I'm going to be doing a couple farms. So the one farm that I want to do is a raid farm. And this is going to be based off of Ray's Works raid farm. I built this in our last world, and it seemed to work really good. We got a lot of emeralds, a lot of totems, redstone, glowstone, all kinds of stuff. So I'm kind of anxious to get started on it. I have everything that's needed in these 2 double chests here, except I need to collect 4 buckets of lava. But I have everything else. I have some temporary rails, or some powered rails, to help me, and those will go along with this dirt, to be able to build a walkway up, or actually build a railway system to go up and put the villager where it's needed. So the site that I have found is quite a distance away. It's about 4,600 blocks to the, I believe it's the southeast, and so it's going to take a little bit of time to get there. And then what I plan on doing is I will have you join me there, and then I'm going to do a time lapse on the build. I have been able to install Replay Mod. Well, I haven't installed it yet, but it is updated, and I think I should be able to install Replay Mod. I'm going to after I stop recording. Before I do the recording, I'm going to make sure to install Replay Mod. I still haven't been able to get Optifine installed because I think it's OptiFabric that isn't out yet, and that's the one that takes a little while to get. But anyway, I plan on doing the build in a time lapse, and if you want to know how to build this raid farm, I will be sharing the link in here to actually Shulker Craft's video. Ray's work came up with the design, and he has a video out on it, but it doesn't show. It's not like a tutorial. And Shulker Craft actually did a tutorial, so I'm going to include a link to both of those videos, and so you can check them both out. In the meantime, I also wanted to show you I found a buried treasure chest, and that had the Heart of the Sea in, so I made a conduit. Where I plan on building the raid farm, there is several ocean monuments around there, and so within the next few episodes or so, I'm gonna raid a ocean monument. Also, something else that I want to do is I want to do a witch farm. And I actually went on Chunk Base because I wanted to see. I do know where a witch farm is, because one other thing I did do, I went exploring, and it turns out that I found a mangrove swamp. And so I went and I collected some mangrove logs, some mud, some mangrove roots, muddy mangrove roots, some mangrove propagale, and some mangrove leaves. And so right close to that there is a witch hut, and so I could actually build a witch farm there. But the reason I went on Chunk Base is because I wanted to see if I could find a location where there were two witch huts really close together, and that I could do a double witch hut farm. And it turns out that there is one, but it's almost 50,000 blocks away. So what I am planning on doing is, within the next few episodes or so, is flying out to that location and get started on a double witch hut farm. I am at X4550 Z800, and I have my render distance at 12, and at this point, if I look all the way around, I cannot see land. This direction is where the pillager outpost is, and we'll take a... Well, first let me turn my render distance back up. I'll put it up to 16. And then you can see there is an island over here. And if we fly this direction, it's going to take a little bit for the chunks to load because I haven't been in this area before. But I think it's on... this land here. There it is. Okay, so over here is the pillager outpost. So now I'm kind of curious. I'm wondering if there might be any allays over here. And I didn't see any. I didn't want to spend a whole lot of time there. So I am going to go back to where I am going to build the raid farm. And I'm going to go ahead and get started. And I will show you guys in the time lapse. I did get replay mod loaded. It took me a little bit, but I did get it loaded. And so I'm going to do the raid farm in a time lapse. I am back at the base. So I finished building the raid farm. I spent a little bit of time there. As you can see in the time lapse, I started a raid and I was having some trouble. The trapdoor underneath me was not opening up, and I was not able to drop down like I was supposed to. And so I was having a little difficulty with that, and the raid ended. And so I ended up, at that point, I just logged off, and I stayed at the raid farm. And then it was pretty late that night, and so I went to bed. The next day I got up, and Mobmaster was asking me about the raid farm, and so I got back on, and he was asking me how the raid farm works, and I said, well, okay, let me show you. And so I was showing him how the raid farm worked, and it ended up that an evoker spawned, and I'm not exactly sure how it happened, but anyway, next thing there were Vexes, and I died. So I got most everything most all of my stuff back. The only thing I didn't get back was an axe that I had, which isn't a great big deal because the only thing I didn't have, it wasn't a netherite axe. And what happened was Mobmaster was picking up my stuff, and he saw the axe, and there were dolphins there, and the dolphins started playing with it, and that's the last we saw of it. And so I was not able to get that back. But now, as you can see, I have a Totem of Undying in my offhand, and I have 2 more in my inventory. And I still have another 16 in here. So I came away with 19 Totems of Undying. So I'm in pretty good shape as far as that's concerned. Now I don't have to worry so much about dying, which a lot of times I don't die very often, but it seems here of late I've been dying a little bit more than I like to. So what I did was I did do a little more work at the raid farm. I built a platform up there, and I put a nether portal in. I took the coordinates I took a screenshot of the coordinates. And so now what I want to do is I want to go into the nether, and I want to go to those coordinates, and I want to put another nether portal in. So I'm going to grab some obsidian and a flint and steel, and I'm going to see if I can figure out where this other portal should be built. I made it to the coordinates that I believe that I need to get to be able to reach the raid farm. So if I light this portal, I should be able to walk through and end up at the raid farm. So let's keep our fingers crossed. And yes, it worked. So as you can see, I built a little bit of a platform here. I'm probably going to enclose it with glass over the top. Though I guess I'm not really all that sure about that. I was thinking about phantoms, but yet phantoms will still come after you even if there's glass. They just won't be able to get to you. So anyway, this is the raid farm, and so far everything seems to work well, though I do think I might have gone up like one block too high, because when the raid party drops, some of them, when they hit onto the slab here, they end up dying. And so it seems like it's maybe one block too high. I'm not really sure. But I thought I followed the directions as in the video, and so it should be okay. I do want to add a sorting system onto this. Basically, I'll take these last two hoppers here, have them directed over this way. I'll probably point that one into this one, or maybe point this one into that one, and have them come over, and then have the sorting system here. So anyway, I think I am going to end the video here. I want to thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it, and I hope that you enjoyed it. I had a lot of fun putting this raid farm together, and I put it off for a while because I was a little bit leery about it. I thought this is going to be a little difficult, and to be honest with you, yes, it was difficult, but I'm okay with that. It's all good. And so now I've got Totems of Undying, so I don't have to worry if I die and losing all my stuff, so I feel a whole lot better about that. Anyway, I appreciate every one of you, and I want to thank you again for watching, and I will catch you next time. And until then, I'm Big Daddy Fun.